Welcome to the Roy Morgan Weekly Update. After a big weekend of sporting action, we're now less than a fortnight before the referendum on The Voice. Our latest Roy Morgan poll last week suggested the referendum is destined to fail, with a clear majority set to vote against it. And the government's decision to bring the referendum appears to be having an impact on their overall voter support. Firstly, to the key weekly indicators. The latest Roy Morgan poll shows ALP support has dropped this week, down 2 percentage points to 52%, with the coalition on 48% on a two-party preferred basis. This result's similar to last year's federal election and the equal lowest result for the Albanese government so far this year. This week, government confidence is down slightly, with 54% of Australians saying the country's going in the wrong direction. Only 32.5% say the country's heading in the right direction. This leads us to government confidence rating of only 78.5, well below the neutral level of 100. There was better news on the consumer front, with consumer confidence up 1.8 points to 78.2 this week. But despite the increase, ANZ Roy Morgan consumer confidence has now spent a record 31 weeks in recessionary risk territory. That's below the mark of 80. Equivalent to 7 months at this level and including the entire September quarter. The indicators that improved the most this week related to personal financial situations, whether people think their finances are better now than a year ago, and their own personal finances looking forward over the next 12 months. Inflation expectations were down a little, 0.2 percentage points to 5.2% this week, reversing some of last week's sharp increase. Australians are now expecting annual inflation to be 5.2% over the next 2 years, in line with the average inflation expectations we've seen over the last 4 weeks. And next, we look at the pressing issue for many Australians of mortgage stress. Roy Morgan's the only company that measures mortgage stress every month, and the latest Roy Morgan mortgage stress figures are out for August. 30.2% of all mortgage holders are now at risk or at risk of mortgage stress. This figure equates to an estimated 1.57 million mortgage holders at risk of mortgage stress, a new record high. Now, if you're looking at the chart and you see 35.6% of mortgage holders at risk during the global financial crisis and only 30.2% now, the record number of people now is because there's now a much larger pool of Australians with mortgages, both due to immigration and just more people taking out mortgages. In addition, more than 1 in 5 mortgage holders are now extremely at risk. That's 21% of all mortgage holders. And that's equivalent to over 1,066,000 mortgage holders, and it's the highest figure for those extremely at risk, also a new record high. These figures are concerning enough, but if the Reserve Bank lifts interest rates further over the next few months, perhaps due to renewed inflationary pressure with energy and petrol prices so high, these numbers will continue to increase. As many of you know, Roy Morgan also forecasts the level of mortgage stress in the months ahead based on projected possible interest rate increases. So although the Reserve Bank's not expected to increase interest rates again, if they did increase interest rates to 4.35, this would increase the number of mortgage holders at risk of mortgage stress by 91,000 to 1,657,000 people. And finally, Halloween. Halloween's set to be celebrated at the end of this month. In research conducted in collaboration with the Australian Retailers Association, Roy Morgan found that 1 in 4 Australians, that's 5.3 million of us, plan to celebrate Halloween. On average, those Australians celebrating Halloween plan to spend $93 each, for a total boost of $490 million to retailers. The most popular way Australians plan to celebrate Halloween is by dressing up in a Halloween costume. 49% of those celebrating Halloween plan to dress up like that. Other popular activities for those celebrating Halloween include 45% set to go trick-or-treating, 39% buying treats for trick-or-treaters, and 36% planning to decorate their home, presumably in a spooky way. Almost 1 in 4, that's 23% of people celebrating Halloween, say they'll attend or host a Halloween party. Lots more food sales then. Those aged 35 to 49 and likely with children are the most likely to celebrate Halloween, with 40% of this age group planning to take part in the festivities. So, after another very eventful week, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening today, and I look forward to bringing you all of the latest consumer confidence, inflation expectations, voting intention, and unemployment next week. Take care. We'll see you next Tuesday.